Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is BioLaser, and on today I'm going to be talking about all Vaughn missions. On the last video I posted, I said you could basically get tons of money on just a regular Titan Avenger with Vaughn missions and the way that you're going to cheese them. However, one thing that I noticed is that it's been a long time since I talked about how to get rep up on these type of missions. Not a lot of you know about this, so let's just jump right into this gameplay, right? So Vaughn missions are very easy to actually level up on rep. All you're gonna do is go to your missions tab, you're gonna go to unverify, and you're gonna want to go to the mercenary tab. However, you are not gonna see this right now, but the one thing that you're gonna be looking for is a chance to impress. This is the mission that opens it all. You're gonna do this and you're gonna go ahead and finish that mission. Now, Vaughn missions are the illegal missions, that's why it's in the unverified tab. So expect a crime stat from this. However, I do have a video on my channel on how to get out of jail quickly. You're more than welcome to search that up. Once you finish and fully complete a chance to impress, it's going to unlock a simple task. This is gonna be your next level of missions. Now from there, after doing a couple of simple task missions, again, these are all illegal missions, so I suggest for you to just kind of chain these missions back to back on a ship that you would like to do them. These missions are gonna be in the same level as your mercenary missions, if you know anything about them. And it's probably gonna be best to do on a simple ship like a Titan Avenger or something small, the very first beginning of missions, like a simple task, a basic task. And then I would suggest for you to go over to New Babbage and rent out a Constellation Taurus for like a day, maybe 3 days. Rent them out and then just go ham on that after that. Do a complicated task, a difficult task, and then a very difficult task. That is going to be your next type of thing. The missions you are primarily looking for to be able to stack the loot that I'm going to be showing you is going to be a very difficult task and a troublesome task. Those are the ones that you're primarily looking for in order for you to do the method that we did on the last video on how to cheese this mission. Vaughn missions are not hard to level up. You would need probably about like maybe 8 to 13 missions in order for you to get mask rep with Vaughn. And really the cool thing about Vaughn missions, if I go over here to the tab, is that you could do the missions and you could abandon them and they won't make you lose any sort of rep. So if you happen to get a mission that's glitch or something, don't be afraid to abandon the mission and pick another one up. I suggest for you guys to stay away from the bunker missions. However, you're more than welcome to do it. I find that the ship missions are so much easier to just kind of chain back to back. But again, that's to each his own. Now that we got that out of the way, that was a lot of information. Let's just jump into our actual Avenger Titan and let me show you the trick that I showed on the last video on how to get these mission cheese. Now, one of the things that I like to do when it comes to doing this trick is that since I'm using the Titan, which I love this because it has a logout bed, is for that particular reason. You're gonna go ahead here and you're gonna lie down on the bed. And then the next thing you're gonna do is literally you're gonna go ahead here, you're gonna check your contracts, you're gonna go ahead here and verify, and you're gonna be going in on these contracts. So primarily we want to look for 118. As you can see, this one is surrounding the asteroids of Yella. Perfect, right? We're gonna go ahead here and we're gonna track that. However, if it doesn't say surrounding the asteroids of Yella or anything that is outer space where you could EVA easily, I would just say keep accepting and abandon, and if there is no more contracts left, you could go ahead here and you could just log out. That would be the best thing that I would tell you to do. And then log in back to another server, EU or USA or UK, whatever the heck you want to do, and rinse and repeat until you find something like I just found right now, which is 118k on the asteroids of Yella. Now it doesn't have to be 118k. You can get lucky and find an 83k good mission, but primarily the ones you want to be looking for is 118k because it has a better chance of getting more big ships to spawn in, right? Okay, so we have gotten to our location. It looks like this is a C2. Primarily you want to be looking for the C2's M2s. That is what you want to be aiming for because that's going to be the best bang for buck, I would want to say. Let's see what this gentleman has. He has 199 Revenant, 125 helium, 67, and then you see the rest. So roughly estimating this, I'm not sure how much money there's going to be, but this is why there's a website called SC Trade Tools, and this is how we're going to be able to tell. In case you were happen to have two and you're kind of like, oh, which one should I take? We're about to find out how much all three of these will net worth if we sell it all. All right, after doing the math, this is going to net worth us, just these three alone right here is going to give us around roughly anywhere close to 500k, more like in the 460k mark. So as you see, it's not crazy, but for one ship, that's not bad, especially the way that we are about to duke this. Now, the next thing is gonna be is that sometimes when you come to these missions, these ships are gonna be moving. They're gonna be moving, and it's gonna be hard for you to get up right up in his butt in order for you to do these things. The things that I found in order to get this to stop is that you're gonna go ahead here and you're gonna quantum jump out, and you're gonna quantum jump back in, and that seems to get them to pause. Okay, after quantum jumping out and in, as you can see, my ship is not moving anymore, right? If for some reason when you come back your ship is still moving, two things have happened. You didn't quantum jump farther enough, or there's somebody in the general area that is rendering in the ship. Now if I were to shoot this ship would literally just start attacking me. The AI is not bugged. The AI is just bugged right now in the sense of like it's not going to continuously move unless I attack it. Now the next thing you're going to do is you want to go ahead here, you want to switch to your guns, and you want to make sure that they're on. Obviously mines are not on. Hello. And then the next thing you want to make sure is that you turn off both your laser repeaters. You only want your ballistics to be on, right? The reason why is because we're gonna basically get right up in his love or his butt, love tap it a little bit, and we're gonna make sure that we're close enough to his butt that we are gonna do past the shields in order to do damage to the door directly, in order for us to kind of like have the door open. I don't want to get, I think that's close enough. Yep, needs a little bit more. There you go. And then boom, the door has now opened. That easy, ladies and gentlemen. Now the next thing you're gonna do is gonna be EVA out and just jump right into the ship, get all that juicy money in order for you guys to you know, steal the ship. All right, so here we go. That didn't make no sense, but you know what I mean. Just jump out, EVA, and this is what I meant by saying you want this in space, because can you imagine doing this in Daymar surface? Unless the ship is pointing down, you're gonna be into for some bad thing. Dude, you would think all of these are Weevil legs, right? That would be nice if it was. All right, let's go ahead, go up. You want to come up this way, you want to go past these doors into here, and then now here we are in the cockpit, right? Now if you have a gun, you can shoot him if you want, but then it's going to give you a crime stat of 3. You don't want that. You want to be able to pay your fine to go ahead and do this all over again. Now the thing that I would suggest you do is put head 6, take out your fist. I would say crouch to get up on here, and you want to punch him out. Now it's going to be very dangerous, because if you're not punching him out quick enough, they will shoot the ship down and you're screwed after that, right? Now this is the things that I'm going to tell you that are about to happen right now. I'm going to punch him out. He is going to go down. I'm going to get back in the ship. I'm going to have to turn off the power. So I'm going to have to hit U to turn off the power in the ship, and then hit R again to kind of reset the power on the ship for the ship to be able to quantum jump. Remember, I'm stealing the ship. This is just because there's a million bugs going on, but this is the fastest way that I found. So then you could quantum jump and this ship is now going haywire, and then I just get destroyed. So we're going to do this all at once. Let's see if we're not gonna die. Here we go. There we go. We knocked them out. Now let's hop on the chair. Remember what I said? We want to hit the U, turn off all powers. We want to hit the R, turn on all powers. Oh man, here we go. I need this to go faster before we die. No way, dude. I don't know how much damage this ship could take, especially when the back's open. Oh, and we made it, ladies and gentlemen. Did any of the cargo fell off? No, we are chilling. Let's go. We're breaking out like bandits. 500K, here we come. Once you land your ship, and obviously you want to put the back to the cargo, as you know, you're gonna go ahead here. You're gonna probably turn off the ship and literally just hop off. One thing that I forgot to mention, I don't know if this matters at all, but I'd rather not mess with it. Do not abandon the quest. Do not abandon the quest whatsoever. In the past, when I used to do that, it would despawn the ship mid-flight. So yeah, don't do that. Unfortunately, they haven't still figured out the mechanics on how to like steal ships and stuff like that in Star Citizen. So yeah, just don't try it. You know, don't try it. All right, so right now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna offload all of this cargo, and then I'll be right back to you guys. Now the next thing you're gonna do once this is all said and done is that I would suggest you guys go ahead, bring down the cargo, and actually blow up the ship. You can salvage the ship for parts and everything, but I can't be bothered with that. This is gonna be a lot more profitable the day that we're able to sell ships. Then stealing ships would actually be a viable option. Until then, people are probably gonna call this an exploit, so just be mindful of doing this when you're doing it. So now the talk becomes, are these missions worth it? In my opinion, if you have a Titan and you could pull this off with the rep, I say heck yeah, this is totally worth it. Why not? Look at all the cargo we are getting. We're getting payouts of like 300 and above, maybe a little bit less than a mil. You know, you're probably making close to 3 to 5 mil an hour if you really know and you really daisy chain these on a proper way, in my opinion. So I think this is definitely a viable option. This is definitely something that you could actually do as a loop to get money up, and then just buy the next ship that you're going to be doing in order to get more money after that, which I will be making another video separately saying, if you are going to be getting all this money, what should you invest it into? What actual ships should you buy next that will encourage you into playing on your Star Citizen way? Remember, we could do all of this with a starter ship. It doesn't take much, just a starter ship. But with that said, I've been your host, BioLaser, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one. Bye.